Hey, what's up, ad revenue virgin gang? Hope you're doing well. I'm doing pretty good today on the newest of the opossum bud drawings, the toilet paper sketches, the weirdest inside joke inside my channel. Like new people that show up here are always asking, why the hell is this dude drawing on toilet paper? And look, I get it, especially if you're brand new. Hey, it's just something I do now. Something I'm gonna take that with me to the grave. It's gonna be a whole binder full of that memorabilia. It's either gonna be looked at really great or as an absolute stupid joke that we'll see in 2 years. Anyway, we got Pichu. Pichu really wasn't too hard to draw. I don't know what it is with like heads. I'm having a really hard time drawing like oval heads, and it's very difficult to do while I'm recording. So this was like my third attempt on Pichu, and it's the least Stewie looking head from Family Guy I could get. It was the best I could actually do. Other than that, wasn't really too hard. Pichu is adorable. Look at that on the toilet paper. Nice stuff here. Want to talk about something that I saw floating around, and this has been floating around a little bit. J-Love is the first person who showed me this masterpiece, but I've seen several people repost it now. I just kind of want to talk about. What we're about to talk about is my actual nightmare. This is something that I cannot imagine myself doing. The secondhand embarrassment from this, and just from people I respect in the actual hobby, this would be done for me. That I wouldn't be able to show my face too much after this. It'd be like, well, I guess that's it. That's the killer for me. Pokemon cards. The greatest thing about Pokemon cards, in my personal opinion, are the actual art that are created by the artists. Several artists create several fantastic cards. That's what gives most of these Pokemon cards personality. That's what makes some of the alternate art so special. That's what makes some of the vintage cards so memorable. And that's just what overall gives Pokemon its appeal and its character, in my personal opinion. There are people who like the artists and get signatures, and of course, when they post pictures of their cards, they'll actually tag the artist or something like that too, just to show a little bit of appreciation. We saw something floating around on Twitter, and I just kind of want to talk about this for a second. So I'm gonna blur out their name. This has been floating around for a little bit though, so I'm sorry, homie. This is just what happens when you post this stuff and you don't fact check things. So, first edition Dark Charizard, 4 of 82. You know, it's a nice card. Super vintage, super classic from the Team Rocket set. Artist Mitsuhiro Arita. Still one of the best cards released. And Mitsuhiro Arita immediately replied back. As many of you guys know, he did not draw this card. He just replies, I didn't draw it. That dude is a straight up, he just doesn't care. Like, he will post whatever the heck he wants with that stuff, too. He replies to people in extremely funny ways. I remember when the whole artist fiasco was going on, whenever it was about autographs. He had a few choice things that he posted that were relatively funny, talking about shirt sizes and things like that. It made me laugh a good little bit. Yeah, Ken Sugimori drew this card. Ken Sugimori drew the Dark Charizard. I know, right? You know, Mitsuhiro Arita being the only person who can draw Charizards because he drew the base set one. That probably tracks for some people. Now, look, do people have to be perfect and remember absolutely everything? No, that's not the point of this at all. The why it's funny is dude posted a picture of the card, right? He was posting it, and while going through all that information, I mean, I'm sure he had to look down at the actual set number in order to remember that it was set number 4 of 82. I don't remember that was the set number. I don't remember what half the fucking card set numbers are off the top of my head anyway. And while they were down there, it also says specifically what artist drew the card to. So you went and fact checked everything else, but you didn't check anything about the fucking artist, and you've absolutely paid for it. That is secondhand embarrassment that I cannot imagine. This happens for one of 3 reasons. Number one, not really that big a fan of Pokemon. You're kind of just grifting around, doing whatever. I'm not necessarily sure that's the case, but people did do that a lot in 2020 and 2021. They just say fucking absolutely ridiculous bullshit that had no merit, right? Number 2, you just don't fact check any of the stuff you do. You just don't, you're not really too familiar. You know one Charizard card and you assume all the Charizard cards kind of it just gets drawn by one person. That's what it is, right? Mitsuhiro Arita is the only person allowed to draw Charizards. Everyone else, yeah, back off. You're not allowed. That's his Pokemon draw. That's his one. And he drew the iconic base set Charizard. Tracks over, I guess, if that logic flows over to the Dark Charizard. But no, that's not how that flows at all. And Mitsuhiro Arita has drawn several fantastic cards. I actually drew one of my favorite alternate arts of all time, the Shadow Rider Calyrex VMAX. That dude, that alternate art is absolutely outstanding. Fantastic card. Learned that's an Emolga on homie's shoulders too, like the little kid up there in the window looking like a Miyazaki film. Yeah, that's an Emolga. J-Love also taught me that. That's a smart guy over there. You guys maybe give him a follow or two. And then 3, you're just the type of person at work who you'll just blaze through things. You'll just speed through tasks over to the point where you're actually just missing crucial parts of stuff. You'll submit a paper up and like half the content will be missing. You'll be supposed to be doing a job job, you're supposed to have actually like put on some panels or something like that, or actually, done something mechanically. You go back and look over it, there's just screws missing, the stuff's not routed correctly, fucking things just aren't hooked up right, wrong size clamps being used, just evidence of people stripping. Dude, it's just shit like that, where it's like, man, like you're just blazing through this, not fact checking anything. If you're gonna post a picture or something like that, I get if you don't have the information off the top of your head in a video. Like, I don't fucking know everything too. I give people a hard time for not knowing information, but I hold myself accountable for that stuff too. Like, what did I fucking do not that long ago? I think I posted a statue or something like that, like a little figure that I had. And I think I said it was for alligator in the actual statue fountain, but it was actually crocodile. People let me know, and I was like, yeah, I'm a fucking moron. I should have fact checked a little bit better. But I'm out here tagging random artists on Instagram posts. If I'm tagging somebody, I check that 3 times, like 4 times, to make sure I'm actually tagging the right person, because that's embarrassing to me. That's that kind of embarrassment that I don't want. It doesn't take a whole lot to do that to me. Like, there's not a whole lot that can, but that's one of the things where I'm like, yeah, that's yeah, tagging one of the most prolific Pokemon artists in a card they didn't draw, that's pretty up there in some embarrassing shit. Hey, lesson learned is a lesson earned. Don't beat yourself up too much. Just thought it was funny. That's all I got. Appreciate it, Virgin Gang. See you later. Hey, Hooked on Phonics. It'll save your life. You'll look down that card, you'll be able to read it. It won't look like a bunch of gobbledygook. You can read letters, baby.